Hey YouTube, Facebook, whoever else ends up watching this. I'm not going to get too deep, too long into this subject, but with these shootings, I know today I just had to kind of back off and get out of Facebook. It's just like, I see both sides just, you know, I get it, but right now, a little too early for that, I think. Anyway, but one thing I will say, because it was actually a third, if I'm not mistaken, that got caught before he got started. And he was 19 as well. But all these shooters, evidently, are 19 years old. Unless I missed something, maybe one was 18, one was 19, and the one that got caught, I know, was 19. I forget exactly how that happened, but I just seen a brief story on it. And also had an AK-47. I won't get into conspiracy theories, but we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, that's one thing I want to throw out. I'm not a parent. I've helped raise kids, but I'm not a parent. But I think we can all agree that there's a majority of the kids growing up today. I mean, I would even dare say a super majority of kids raised these days. I'm not gonna. If you're watching this and you've whipped your kid and you discipline him or her, I'm not talking to you. Okay, so you don't have to comment and say, "Oh no, I discipline my kid." Okay, fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the other 95% of the fucking population. Okay, or 90%, whatever it is. It's a freaking super majority from what I can see. These kids have never been disciplined. They've never been taught the consequences of their actions, whether it's school, home, wherever. We don't punish kids for doing wrong anymore. It's like no matter what they do, the worst they get is a timeout or take their video games away for a day, or if they do that. They definitely don't fucking whip kids anymore. When I graduated high school, they were still paddling in high school. And you know what we did? You tried not to fuck up, or at least tried not to get caught. I know I got plenty of ass whippings when I grew up. I didn't get a bunch of them because they worked. And you tried your best not to get another fucking ass whooping. Because my dad used a leather belt and he was brutal. So you got a whipping, it lasted for months and months and months. But you know, but I still loved him till the day he died. I didn't hold no grudges against him. I mean, he was doing his duty to teach me to be a man and that there were consequences for my actions. That's what he was teaching me. Don't lie to him. That was the biggest thing. He always, you break something, of course you're lying because you don't want to get caught, and then he'd catch you in the lie, and then he'd whip you for lying. Not for breaking something, for fucking lying is what he whipped me for. That's why I'm one of the most honest people in the world, because don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear the answer. And I ain't into gossip and bullshit, because my memory ain't good enough to keep up with a fucking lie. So I either ain't gonna tell you nothing, or I'm gonna tell you the fucking truth. That's the only two options you get with me. I learned that lesson well. Just don't fucking lie. But anyway, my point is, I think it has. I think there's many aspects to it. You know, whether it's the kids on psychedelic drugs. When I say psychedelic, maybe that's not the right word. Antidepressant drugs, ADHD or ADD, whatever the hell. All those attention deficit disorders, ADD. When maybe they just needed their ass whooped, or maybe they just needed a little extra time to work with them. Just because the teacher is suggesting to the parents, yeah, your kid's got this and you need to go see a doctor because he's out of control in the classroom, or whatever the case. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying there's way too many kids on drugs. No matter who you are, what your belief is, I ain't down in Big Pharma, I ain't down in nothing. I'm just saying nobody in their right mind can look at the percentage of kids and adults that's on some kind of fucking medication for depression, attention disorders, or whatever, and say, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it's normal for 70% of the fucking population to be on some kind of fucking drug. That's a problem, but that's for another day. But the bottom line is, I know I'm jumping all over the place. These kids have never been taught discipline. Ever. And they're 19, it's like, I don't know that they have any perception that there's consequences if you pull an actual trigger and kill somebody. They've grown up into society that thinks that killing babies is okay. War is normal. That death is normal. So they have it's like they have no remorse for another person's life. It means nothing to them. That's a whole discussion. I could do a whole chat on that. Just how kids today, what do they think? What do they value? Do they value a life? Obviously not. I mean, hell, in New York, they just passed a post-birth abortion bill. They see abortion up to after the mother has the child, she can just let it die. It's not taken, 3 months in. No, carries it full fucking term, has the baby, they set it on a table, and they let it fucking suffocate, starve to death, whatever it takes, just let it die. It is going to lay there till it fucking dies. And that's legal. And if you got kids that are growing up with this, how would you not expect them not to value life? Not to have any thought process of repercussions of somebody dying. I mean, fuck, if you can kill a baby, hell, anybody can be killed. You shouldn't go to jail for that. There's no, I didn't like them. Fuck it, kill them. I don't know. I bounced around on that. I just see a real problem with the kids growing up today with no discipline, no understanding of the consequences of their actions, no value of life, period. I'm not a religious person, but they're also growing up in an age where having a religion, whatever faith it is wrong. You're backwards, whatever. A 3-year-old can decide their own gender. The fuck? How do you expect any of these kids to grow up and be normal? How the fuck are they ain't got a fucking chance to be normal. I don't understand why this shit ain't happening more often, to be honest with you. Because we're growing up a generation of some fucked up kids. Alright, I'm done. Bye. Later.